Though inflation has begun to come down, food prices remain stubbornly high and the cost of living continues to rise. Some supermarkets have taken additional steps to tackle theft following an apparent rise in shoplifting. And as interest rates rise, around 10% of mortgage products have been taken off the market. What on earth is going on here? To talk to us through some of the pressures on household budgets are Greg Marsh, founder and chief exec of the cost of living tool Now. It's great to see you again. Thanks for joining us. And the property expert, writer and broadcaster, Kunle Barker. Hi, good to see you. Thanks very much. So what about mortgages? They seem to be taken off the market is that because we're expecting interest rates to go up again?
Well, it's because of uncertainty. So when you see rates being pulled by lenders, they're uncertain what's going to happen in the market. And the reason for that is the speed at which the interest rates have had to rise to try and curb inflation. Now, inflation has dropped, as Greg said, probably not at the level that the Bank of England would have liked. And that's mainly because the inflationary factors at the moment aren't just consumer spending. We've got things, a war in Ukraine, we've got this COVID lag because things were kept artificially low for good reason. But all of these things have meant that inflation isn't where it needs to be. So
what should people do? What do we do if they need a new mortgage?
Speak to your bank, look around, test the market. And I think what you should be doing at the moment is looking to get a good fixed rate. If you've got a lot of equity in your home and you're lucky enough to do that, there are rates still available that are relatively good, and I think you should fix them for at least 2 years. My advice, and to try and get through this problem, because the idea that somehow we're going to go back, we're at a 15-year high in terms of interest rates at the moment. So the idea that this is going to sort of revert to what it was during COVID or post-COVID is ridiculous. That isn't going to happen. Interest rates are going to be higher at a normal level for a long time. And I expect to see interest rates rising again, and you wouldn't expect to see them dropping probably until the first quarter of next year.
Well, actually, I put that to the Minister earlier on today. If you're lucky enough to have a few pennies in savings, you don't get the interest rate rise that mortgage owners, mortgage users do.
No, and that's a real problem. And, the Bank of England, the government need to do something about that to ensure that the interest rate rises are passed on both ends of the scale, not just in terms of your mortgage. But the point, I'd just like to go back to a point Greg made earlier about all these people coming off of these 2-year fixed rates. The problem they're going to have is that when the government brought in stress tests for mortgages, they would not have been stress tested for what we're going through at the moment. They would not have been stress tested for rates rising to a 15-year high, fuel being so expensive, food being so expensive. So we're going to see a rise in defaults and we're going to see a rise in repossessions. And I think the big banks are preparing for that. And if they're not, they should be.